You know, I've got a question. Why is it always the bad ones that seem to get the most famous? So if you're at all up to date on the world of guitar and music, you have probably seen a bunch of videos from a bunch of different YouTubers talking about this guitar player who did some pretty bad no-no things. And his name is Giacomo Turra. And right now his situation is kind of a big topic because he's done some pretty sleazy things and tricked a lot of different people and people out of their money. So we're gonna get to that, and I kind of want to talk about what this means to me personally in the world of guitar and social media. So this guy, Giacomo Turra, and I just want to reiterate, I am not like fully 100% fact up to date on everything involving this case. I've just seen a couple videos and I've heard about the things that are going on and thought that I should give my 2 cents on this situation because it's pretty relevant. So what this guy did was essentially trick tons and tons of people into thinking he's a player that he's actually not, while also at the same time kind of tricking people out of their money and screwing over other artists at the same time. So one of the big things that he's in a bit of heat for is the fact that he mimes and fakes his guitar playing. And I'll note there's 2 differences in my mind between fake guitar playing and miming guitar playing. Miming guitar playing in my brain is not so much the issue. I know a lot of people are kind of dissing on that a lot lately because it's not genuine or whatever, but to me, miming guitar playing is kind of an essential part of a bigger production. When I make original music and I post videos of it, like music videos or covers, things like that, a lot of times I have pre-recorded the track and I am miming in the music video along with that track because it looks better, and that's how you can get music videos in the first place. You can't always just play live for every single different shot for a music video and stitch it together. It just really doesn't work that well. So to me, that's kind of an essential part of like bigger productions and has been a part of music videos for the longest time ever. Ever since you've seen music videos in existence, people have been miming to their music in order to shoot the music video. So this is nothing new, and honestly, it's just kind of industry standard for shooting music videos. But fake guitar playing is a different world, where somebody is playing audio of someone playing guitar that isn't them, and then, you know, noodling around, screwing around, and pretending that they're playing it while very obviously not doing so. For instance, if there's a lead guitar solo playing, and instead of being up in the wheedly zone, this person is down on like the first 5 frets. Now that's gonna very obviously seem off to people who know better, and that to me is kind of the no-no area when it comes to miming and faking guitar playing. But that leads me into one of the first issues I have with what this guy has done, because when you have people who are young, burgeoning, and like aspiring guitar players, and they see this guy who has tons and tons of followers and brand deals and stuff like that, and millions of views, and he's like playing his music and seemingly doing so very fluently and really well, when in reality he's not. These players pick up on that and they don't know any better at this point, so they look up to this person and they want to aspire to be that person, all the while he's just kind of pulling one over their eyes. And especially if he's faking guitar playing that's beyond his skill level, that sends a very certain message to young guitar players. And a lot of times, as many of you may know if you're a guitar player yourself, you can go online and see a 12-year-old kid just shredding some Yngwie Malmsteen that you can't do yourself, and it makes you feel like shit. So a lot of these younger guitar players look up to people like this, and if this guy's just faking stuff, what kind of a message does that send to these young guitar players, especially if they find out later down the road that he's been faking? Like, what does that do to the mind of someone who's trying to learn this instrument? It might discourage them from playing it altogether. Like, there's a lot of bad things that can come from it that are preventable by just not faking your guitar playing. On top of that, he's just deceiving people in general. There are people who probably aren't musically inclined whatsoever, don't play an instrument, but might come across a video of him like soloing or something and go, wow, this guy is insanely good, when in reality he's not. But he's collecting all those views and all those comments and all those shares and stuff, while there are other struggling artists who are actually playing what they're showing and actually not faking guitar playing, and they don't get nearly the same amount of attention as Giacomo. And some of you might see this and go, well, who cares? If people like it, then they're gonna like it and there's nothing you can do about that. And although that's true, what he does kind of sets a precedent for people to come after him to start doing the same thing. And at a certain point, if everybody's being disingenuous, what's real? Why does it matter? And like, I don't know, that just seems like a huge problem to me if everybody's just faking what they're doing and there is no like genuine playing. There is no like actual down-to-earth connection. It's just fake production aesthetics, if that makes any sense. It just seems very surgical and sterile and like not human, I guess might be a term, but it seems wrong. But even if that's not an issue to you, the other thing that he was doing might be an issue to you, and that's stealing. He was stealing smaller creators and smaller artists' guitar riffs and licks and songs and stuff, and kind of not really giving them credit and kind of creating this illusion that he came up with them himself, all the while probably faking playing those riffs also at the same time, and taking all the credit for it. And that's just really, really sleazy. You're stealing people's music and people's ideas, not giving them credit, and not directly claiming that it's yours. I don't think he did that, but when you don't give other people credit, people assume that it's yours, and I'm sure he knew that, and that's just like, that's really wrong. And yeah, that's just sleazy as all hell. And on top of that, he was taking a bunch of those riffs and those licks and those songs that other people made that he stole from them and created tabs for those and sold them. He sold them. He sold the stolen riffs that he took from other smaller artists and creators. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't even know if he actually made the tabs himself. He might have had somebody else do them, or he stole the tabs from other artists. There's so much messery in this whole situation. I don't have all the facts straight in my head. It's just too confusing. Just so much extra effort that he went through just to do all of this crazy stuff, and all the while it all being just really sleazy and like shitty stuff. I just remember seeing some of the videos about this same topic where people were saying that you could obviously tell he's not as advanced of a guitar player or musician that he tries to portray himself as, and that there's no way that he actually made those tabs, regardless of whether or not he stole the riff or not. There's no way that he had the music theory or fretboard knowledge to make these tabs in order to sell them. So people were questioning whether or not he actually stole the tabs as well. Now, obviously, this guy is under a lot of scrutiny right now, and for good reason. I don't think anything that he did is respectable. It's gross, and it's taking advantage of fellow artists and musicians, and it's just betraying your own kind in a certain way, and that should just be frowned upon in every possible way. And what kind of consequences should he face other than like people unfollowing him and realizing what a sleazebag he is? I don't really know. But there's a special place for people like this who just, step on the backs of others to put themselves in a higher place, and he fits in that box swell. Now just remember, take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt, because like I said, I don't have 100% of the facts. I've seen a good amount of information on it, and who knows what's true and what's really not. It's all a lot of speculation. I think there is some evidence for some of these things, but we all kind of collectively know that he's kind of a scam artist and a con artist with all of that. I don't think that's the point that's missing, but maybe some of the specifics I might be wrong on. But in terms of the general idea of him just being a liar and a scammer and a cheat and a thief, that's what he is. And like I said, I don't see an issue with the miming guitar side of things, because strictly music videos and stuff like that, you just have to do that in order to create what it is you're trying to create with a music video. Yeah, you can play along live, and that's what I do a lot of times, but the audio from those intricate takes that you do with the camera are not what end up in the music video. It's the actual pre-recorded track with those shots playing over it, synchronized to the song. So that kind of miming or guitar fakery is acceptable in my mind, but what's not is a lot of what Giacomo was doing with straight up not even coming close to playing the correct fingerings or anything to what he was making people believe were his riffs, and all the while saying, hey, if you liked what I just stole from people and faked, you can get the tabs for it and buy them from me, which I probably also didn't make, for a certain price of money, and you can also learn these riffs that I stole from other people. That's the sleazy side of this whole situation. So in the end, what does this mean for guitar players and musicians in this world? Well, I hope a lot of people learned a lesson, and if there are people that were doing anything similar to what he was doing, they'll stop. Because we don't want to set the wrong precedent. We also don't want to scam and con people out of their money or out of their ideas and attention, right? These kinds of people like Giacomo that kind of get all these views and all this attention and brand deals and stuff from the fakery that he's doing makes me sick, because like I said, there are smaller artists out there than him that deserve way more credit because they're actually doing what they love and actually playing the real thing and not being a sleaze bag, and they don't get nearly the same attention or the brand deals or the views or the money from the views or the attention in general. And that is just the fucked up part of this world, and hence the whole reason why in the very beginning of this video I was saying, why is it always the bad ones that seem to get the most attention? It's just, it really sucks. And hopefully now that everybody is kind of aware of what this guy is doing, we can make some changes to prevent this kind of thing from happening again with anybody else. It's probably inevitable. Someone else is going to do something down the line, but hopefully this deters a lot of people that were thinking about doing the same thing, so we can all collectively be genuine artists and musicians to each other and help each other out, not scam each other and rip other people off. Let's be good people. Let's not be pieces of shit. So yeah, that's my spiel. If you want to see some of the other videos that I've personally watched about this topic as well from other creators, I'll try to list them down in the description below, because I like to give credit to people from things that I kind of piggyback off of. And at the same time, if you want to see any of my other content, click the videos on your screen. Thank you guys so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Stay metal, my friends, and don't steal things.